Take a look at those, and all the attention continues to be on Kalen DeBoer as Alabama faces off against Oklahoma on Friday in the first round of the college football playoffs. DeBoer, of course, has been rumored to be a candidate for the Michigan coaching job. He was asked about his future yesterday.
Just for clarity's sake, so things aren't left up to interpretation, are you going to be the coach of Alabama next year?
Man, come on, Nick. All right. I put a statement out yesterday because first of all, our guys handle distractions phenomenally. It's been that way all season long. They continue to do that. And so, but I also, knew that yesterday and today was pretty important. I wasn't going to see until today to address it. So that's why I put that out there. Haven't talked with anyone. No plans of talking with anyone.
Just for clarification and going back to Nick's question, will you be the coach at Alabama next season?
I plan on it. Yes. Nick, yes. Charlie, yes.
All right, took him a long time to say yes, but he finally did. And so Heather and Paul are here. Heather, does that put an end to the speculation about Kalen DeBoer and Michigan?
I will put an end to the speculation when the coaching search ends, Greeny. Look, do you remember Lincoln Riley standing up at the podium and saying, I will not be the head coach at LSU? And then 24 hours later, he was the head coach at USC. I realize it's a different situation, but if Alabama loses to Oklahoma and has an early exit, if I'm Ward Manuel, the athletic director at Michigan, I am going for Kalen DeBoer because he would be the best option. The most realistic option might be Washington head coach Jedd Fisch, but we've all been in this long enough. It ain't over till it's over, guys.
Paul, is it over?
It feels like it's over, and people at Alabama, Greeny, are pushing back, saying they are in the midst of working on a contract. Something tells me they may wait till after Friday night to put it in front of DeBoer. But they were arguing very, very vehemently yesterday that it is not going to happen. Now, DeBoer actually made a mess out of it. He issued a statement on Sunday that cleared it up. And we only played a part of what he said. He went on. It was one of the longest word salads in college coaching history. And it's just so simple to say, are you going to be the coach next year? Yes. But for some reason, he couldn't do it. I think some of it is that he likes it there. His family's comfortable there. But he also knows that out in the hinterlands, the fans are not crazy about him, especially with another loss on Friday night.
Which sets up my question, Paul. What is at stake for him Friday night against Oklahoma?
More unpopularity, and people would say, well, how could he be unpopular? He's in the playoffs. But we all remember he was one of the last schools in the playoffs. A loss Friday night would mean 4 losses on the season. That would be 2 consecutive 4-loss seasons. Greeny, we've talked about Alabama long enough on this program. That's a disastrous season under Nick Saban. A disastrous season under Saban was losing in the final game of the year in the title game. So DeBoer needs to win this game, get to the Rose Bowl, and take on Indiana. If he doesn't, it just gets more complicated after that.
What does it feel like to you, Heather?
This is a prove-it game. Paul's absolutely right, because there are a lot of people out there, including some people in the selection committee meeting room, who didn't think Alabama should be in as a 3-loss team because of the way they played in the SEC championship game. This is a team that regressed on the field over the last couple of weeks, minus 3 yards rushing against Georgia. So they've got to come out and they've got to play really well in addition to winning this game. I agree with Paul.
One final thought. Heather Dinich is one of our favorite people, but she thinks she's pretty sly. She thinks she's pretty sneaky, but we all see the terrible towel behind you. Go ahead. I know you're dying. I know you're itching to take it out and wave it after their win last night. Go ahead. If you want to, we'll give you a moment. Go ahead, Heather.
That was so good. That was so good, Greeny. Finally.
Yes, she made me wave one after the first week.
How good was Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers was good last night. Heather's feeling, I'm telling you, she's not one of those people who's given up on the season. Heather and
Let's get cracking with some college football playoff action, shall we? First round brings us a College Station for Texas A&M in Miami. Hurricanes have not won a BCS, New Year's Six, CFP Bowl since 2003 in the Orange Bowl against Florida State. So it's been a long time. The winner will get to take on Ohio State at the Cotton Bowl on New Year's Eve. But first, you have to get through Saturday noon Eastern in a meeting of two teams that's been a little bit familiar with each other of late. This will be the sixth meeting all time, the first one to happen in postseason play. Miami leads the series right now 3-2 with the most recent win coming at home 40-33 back in 2023. For now, with even more on the matchup, we bring in the Aggies and the Canes guys who cover them inside and out for 24/7 Sports. That's Carl Carls, who's with the Aggies for 24/7, and David Lake, who covers Miami also for 24/7. Gentlemen, it's an 11 a.m. start locally, so you got to wake up, set the alarm, and get after it immediately. You look at 100,000 strong there at Kyle Field for the first playoff game ever to be held there. When you look at the environment, the home field advantage of all this, Carter, I'll ask you first, how important do you think that will be?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, A&M's averaged, I think, 106,000. I think they've averaged above their capacity this season with how great of a season it's been for Texas A&M. And I just think that in a game where the margins are thin, and you look at Miami where, they struggle with penalties, pre-snap penalties has been an issue with them at times this season. It'll be huge because, even the best offenses that have played at Kyle Field have struggled before the snap. And you also couple that with the fact that A&M is exceptional on third down, exceptional, number one in the country in sacks. So, you get this Miami team in third and long situations, and this crowd can get into it, and you're, number one in the nation sack defense can really get after Carson Beck.
Yeah, Carter's right. I mean, this crowd's going to make an impact on this game, and it's something that Miami's going to have to navigate. The toughest crowd Miami's played in this season was at Florida State, kind of early in the year. That crowd was somewhere between 60 and 70,000. And it was rocking early on in that game, but Miami jumped out to a 28-3 lead and kind of put the crowd to bed there. But this is going to be a totally different challenge. As Carter, highlighted, Miami's had some pre-snap issues dating back to their game at SMU. 5 pre-snap penalties in that game. And then also, again, third down. Texas A&M has the number one third down defense in the country, and that crowd noise is going to make life difficult in that operation, especially on third and longs. And also, Miami's only played in 4 road games this season. So it is going to be a challenge that Miami has to navigate. Yeah, situation that they have not been in, frankly, to be that honest with you, this season of when you look at just the sheer amount of fans who will be in the stands. When we get to the inside and out of this game, you look at Marcel Reed up against that Canes defense has been very opportunistic at times. In that matchup, when you look at it mano-a-mano, David, who do you like? Yeah, I mean, look, I think you look at Miami and their track record this season on defense. They've had a lot of success against dual threat quarterbacks, whether it's DJ Lagway at UF, Tommy Castellanos at FSU, Byron Brown, USF, Kevin Jennings, SMU, got loose a little bit, Kyron Drones with Virginia Tech. But Marcel Reed, definitely the toughest challenge that Miami will have faced this year with, because he does bring an explosive element, both as a passer and as a runner. I'm curious from a Miami perspective, what Miami's approach is to defending Marcel Reed. Do you go man coverage? Do you go zone coverage? I think the zone coverage options allows you to keep your eyes on him and contain him a bit as a scrambler. And forces him to go through progressions and throw the ball into windows. But there's no doubt that Reed has the best collection of weapons and an offensive line around him that Miami's faced as it regards to going against a dual threat quarterback this year. So it's a big time challenge.
Other side. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to add that, I think this Texas A&M offense, you got to trust them because of what they've done for most of the season. Really only the Auburn game and the Texas game were the games where they weren't, kind of going off for 400 yards and 30 plus. I will say, though, this Texas A&M offense has been a little streaky for your liking lately. Texas game obviously did not go well for them. The South Carolina game, we remember how that went, where they were pretty bad in the first half and excellent in the second half. So they do have a little bit of a streaky nature to them. They're very reliant on the big plays. I think if Miami can kind of force them to be this methodical offense where, hey, they don't give up the big play and, hey, you got to march down the field and convert third down after third down. I think that's where this offense struggles. If you can kind of, put a cap on them and limit guys like Mario Craver and KC Concepcion, tackle them in space and not let them get behind, the defense. And so Marcel Reed as well has struggled with interceptions lately. I think he's thrown 1 or 2 in 4 or 5 straight games. And so can they turn the ball over? But when this offense is on, they're exceptional. They can put up 40 points against Notre Dame. They can put up 40 points against anybody. So, a lot of highs, a lot of lows, but for the most part, they've been high this season.
Yeah, other side, you're going to have to figure out how to stop Malachi Tony if you're that Texas A&M defense. Now let's get to the most important question. Who wins? Carter, I'll ask you that first.
Yeah, I've got A&M by a field goal, and I just think that I trust A&M's offense a little bit more. You've got the home field advantage aspect. I don't know if Miami's faced a lot of offenses and been in a lot of environments like this season. And I also think that playing behind this home crowd, this defense, when they're at home, a lot of their struggles have been away from home this year. When they've been at home, they've been pretty good. And I like the matchup against a Miami team that hasn't run the ball super well this year and has also struggled with the pre-snap penalties. I do think we're going to get a big strength-on-strength matchup when it comes to the trenches on both sides of the ball. That'll be kind of the matchup to watch, but ultimately I have A&M by a field goal because I think the home field advantage will play a big factor.
Yeah, and I'll go Miami 27, Texas A&M 23. I think this game kind of comes down to turnovers. Texas A&M's defense is fantastic, but they don't really force turnovers via picks. They got 3 picks on the year. I think Miami might be able to force Marcel Reed into some picks and steal some possessions, and I think that'll ultimately be the difference in a close game.
A split decision for who we think will win. We will tune in on Saturday, noon Eastern, to see how it all plays out on the field. Carl